Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joy and today in this lecture we will discuss a very important current affair. The government is planning to ask RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, to remove the priority sector limit for renewable energy sector. Now what is meant by priority sector lending? So priority sector lending means the public sector banks have to keep a particular percentage. At present it is 40%. It means 40% of its total loans to priority sectors. So under priority sector lending scheme, the banks will have to keep aside a particular percentage of their total loans for priority sectors, and 40% of such loans should be kept apart for priority sector. And renewable energy comes under priority sector lending. So now the government is asking RBI to remove the priority sector lending limit. So there is a particular limit within this 40%. For example, agriculture, which falls under the priority sector, has a particular limit within this 40%. Again, the renewable energy has a particular limit. So government is asking RBI to remove the lending limit for renewable energy. So this has certain implications on green energy, and in this lecture we would be looking at what is the current affair, what is the background. We will also see what are the implications of government plan, what is the current status of renewable energy in India, and the development of green energy progress in India, the challenges and the existing schemes. So we will discuss all this in detail in this lecture. It is a very important lecture from your UPSC perspective, both for your prelims as well as your mains examination. And this is also helpful for other competitive examinations like NABARD grade A and B examination, RBI exams, for other competitive exams, etc. So let us begin, but before that, this is our channel StudyIQ. We are providing pen drive courses for various competitive examinations including UPSC preparations. So if you are preparing for the upcoming UPSC examination, Civil Service Examination for the year 2020, we are providing you pen drive courses which will cover 100% of your UPSC syllabus. We are also providing daily current affair updates. So for more details, you can visit our website. You can also visit the link that is provided on the description of this video. So for more details, please visit the link. So let us start. Let us first analyze what is the current affair. So the current affair is that the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is planning to hold talks with RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Now RBI is the monetary authority of the country. It is also the controller and regulator of the banking system in India. So banks fall under the regulation of RBI. So now it is upon RBI to give instructions to commercial banks, especially to the public sector banks, to remove the limit on the priority sector lending to renewable energy sector. So RBI has to give the instruction to public sector banks. Now we discussed in the beginning about priority sector lending scheme. So under priority sector lending scheme, the public sector banks are supposed to provide 40% of their total credit to priority sectors. So within the priority sector lending itself, there are limits for each and every category. So now government is asking RBI to remove the limits on renewable energy lending under the priority sector lending scheme. So this is the current affair, and based on this we will discuss all the topics, all the subtopics which we discussed at the beginning. So the plan of government is to further boost India's emerging green economy. So let us first look into the background. So if we analyze the background of such a decision by the government, we understand that the agenda of the present NDA government is to provide reliable, sustainable and affordable electricity to the masses. So the use of renewable energy in the energy mix will provide reliability and also sustainability. So it is green energy, and it also makes electricity affordable to the masses. So if we look at the energy mix, especially after the NDA government has taken charge of the government in the last term, we have seen that the proportion of green energy, especially solar and wind energy, in the total energy mix has increased. So this is a clear indication that the economy is moving towards a green energy economy, green energy source. So this is the background. So the government itself provides a focus for increased use of renewable energy or green energy. Now, if we understand the implications of this decision by the government in order to provide more credit to the renewable energy sector by removing the lending limit for the renewable energy sector from priority sector lending scheme. So if we analyze the implications, this will encourage the public sector banks for whom the priority sector lending scheme is mandatory. So the public sector banks will be able to lend more money to renewable energy products. So these renewable energy projects will have more access to formal credit. So public sector banks will be able to provide more credit to renewable energy projects, and also the renewable energy developers, they will have easy access to finance. So finance is one major constraint that limits the coming up of major projects for renewable energy. So this challenge can be easily tackled by providing more credit facilities to the developers of renewable energy. So this is the direct implication of this government decision. And by increasing access to formal credit for the renewable energy sector, this will create more projects. This will bring in more projects of renewable energy into the economy, and in India or Indian economy will turn into a green energy economy. So this is a long-term implication. Now, if we look at the status of renewable energy in India, India is already running the world's largest renewable energy program. So, India is planning to achieve a target of 175 gigawatts by the year 2022. So, the capacity of renewable energy in India is targeted to achieve 175 gigawatts by 2022. And this is as a part of India's climate commitments. Now, if you look at the tariffs for renewable energy in India, India has a record low of renewable energy tariffs. For solar tariff, it is at the rate of 2.44 rupees per unit, and in case of wind energy tariff, it is 2.64 per unit. So, we will see that India has record low solar tariffs. And this is a right step towards promoting renewable energy in the economy. Now, if we divide this 175 gigawatts of renewable energy target by the year 2022, we see that it is majorly split into solar energy and wind energy. So, in case of solar energy, the target is 100 gigawatts, and in case of wind energy, the target is 60 gigawatts. So, within the solar energy itself, it is subdivided into 60 gigawatts of ground-mounted grid-connected solar energy and 40 gigawatts of solar rooftop technology. So, the major thrust is given on solar energy and wind energy. So, this is the present status of renewable energy in India. Now, moving on, let us understand what are the major challenges in developing renewable energy in India. The first and the major challenge is the delay in land acquisition for renewable energy projects. So, land acquisition delays keeps the project spending, and that is one major challenge. And for that, the central government will have to tie up with the state governments. So, state governments can easily acquire the land, and through a cooperation and coordination between the central and the state governments, it is easily possible that the land required for bringing renewable energy projects are easily acquired. So, second major constraint is credit availability for renewable energy developers and renewable energy projects. So, now the government is asking RBI to remove the priority sector lending limit for renewable energy sector, and the implications we have already discussed. So, one implication is that this will encourage the public sector banks to lend more money to renewable energy projects. So, by this decision, there will be easy access to credit for the renewable energy programs and also for the developers. So, this can be a viable solution. Now, third issue is with regard to the GST issues. So, GST issues related to renewable energy equipments and renewable energy components. So, this also needs to be rectified by the government, which also poses a major challenge. Now, another major issue is with regard to inverted duty structure. So, inverted duty structure refers to a situation where the duty or the customs duty on raw materials is more than that of finished goods. So here under inverted duty structure or IDS, the duty or the custom duty for raw materials would be higher than the duty on finished goods. So this is one major hindrance that act as a challenge for developing the renewable energy in India. And we are also highly dependent on imports for our equipments and components, especially on China. So we have already discussed this issue in detail in a different lecture. So what the government can do is to promote manufacturing domestically. Within India, manufacturing of equipments and components required for developing renewable energy should be promoted. And this will lessen the burden of inverted duty structure, and also we will become self-sufficient in terms of acquiring equipments and components needed for developing renewable energy projects. So these are the major challenges, and by tackling the challenges, government can easily develop renewable energy sources because India has rich resources in terms of renewable energy. Now, if we look into the existing schemes, this is from your examination perspective. In your mains, when you are writing an answer related to development of renewable energy, you can mention the existing schemes, what are the government initiatives, etc. And also in your preliminary examination or any other competitive examination, there are chances that the schemes of the government, especially the flagship programs of the government, are asked. So in that perspective, we will look into the schemes that are already existing. So the first one is National Solar Mission. Second one, development of solar parks. Third one, rooftop solar projects. Fourth one is biomass, biogas and small hydro programs. So these are some of the government initiatives that are already in place. Now the government will have to create an enabling policy environment that will help in developing the renewable energy sector in India, and the recent decision of the government is a major step towards providing a policy environment, enabling environment for the development of renewable energy sector in India. You can find the PDF of this lecture on our website www.studyiq.com. You can follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can also write to me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarifications. Thank you.